Good afternoon, or morning, or less likely evening. If you're watching this video, you have decided through the Mercer County Community College Voice to take your first steps into journalism. And for that reason, you will now be subjected to all the peril of our journalism simulator. You will be watching clips from an interview totaling approximately 2 minutes, after which you will be asked questions to gauge your engagement, your preparation, and your adaptation. Good luck. Okay, so Ms. Steiner,
Steiner, yeah,
you okay if I record this?
all good.
Could you give me the spelling of your last name?
Steinert, like the high school.
Excellent. And you're a student at Mercer County Community College?
Yes, I am.
And what is your major?
So I am a communication new media major.
Okay. And what is your position at the paper?
So I am managing editor right now, but I'm thinking about being editor-in-chief in the fall.
Okay, very cool. Okay. Now we've covered the basics. Before we move on to the more in-depth, I have one question. How many of you have written something down? I'm sure some of you are wondering, when were we told we could write something down? You're journalists now. The question is, did anyone tell me I couldn't? Preparation. Have you had any moments in an interview where something was said and you were suddenly glad to know something you didn't think was going to be relevant?
Oh, all the time. Like I, for my Asbury article that I'm working on right now, I reached out to 3 artists that I know, and the one was like, I have a totally different opinion of Asbury. Like, I'll tell you all the good things if you want, but I don't think my opinion is the norm. She's like, what do you want? And I was like, I want to hear everything. Like, tell me all the things that I'm not going to hear from another artist. Like, of course I want to hear that information. And that transformed this article into something completely different. It's basically, I thought I was approaching it first from the standpoint of why Asbury Park is a hub for musicians, why it's an amazing music scene. But then, she gave me this other perspective, and it's that kind of changed my mind a little bit. It's still an amazing music scene, but it's stagnant. And it's I would have never thought of it that way had I not interviewed her. And had I it was just such an amazing thing, especially because I took the same questions for every single person, because it's about getting different perspectives on the same questions. So I thought that was super, super cool.
Now, let's see how much attention you were paying, and perhaps more importantly, what you were paying attention to. What was the name of the subject of my interview? And how is it spelled? Does anyone recall how they explained the spelling of their name? What is their major? What's their position at the paper? Is that possibly going to change? And if so, how? What color shirt was the subject of my interview wearing? The subject of my interview mentioned an article. What was the topic, and where were they doing their research? What were they surprised to learn? Do you suppose that the subject of my interview is a thinking or feeling person? That's a matter of discussion. What would you say about the subject of their interview? Now, how many outfits, including the one I'm wearing right now, have you seen me in? Can you tell me about anything that was on the wall of the subject of my interview? And lastly, my name has been on screen in front of you for 2 full minutes. What's my name?